That's right, everyone. It's that time again. It's that time for Marilyn's Cafe Society on YouTube. Ah, yeah. All right, and so of course today is Wednesday. It's the first day of July 2020. Welcome, July, right? Hey, it's officially summertime, especially here in this area. The temperatures are in the 90s, and with the heat index, we're almost at 100. It's been that way for a few days now. How are you doing? Yeah, I know. I'm back. I'm back. I know. I missed the show Saturday. There was no show Saturday. I don't know, everyone. I was just in a funk, you know. I don't know. I've just been doing this for a very long time, and it just doesn't make sense for me to turn back. No, not now. So I have to go forward. So I'm back. It's Wednesday edition of Maryland's Cafe Society here on YouTube. And of course, I'm feeling better. I stumbled upon a quote that really kind of helped me. It's a quote from the first black woman to travel in space. Her name was Mae Jemison. And she was quoted as saying, "It's your place in the world. It's your life. Go on and do all you can with it and make it the life you want to live." And so here we are, everybody. Let's do this. Let's get the show on the road. And so it's halftime. And what I mean is we're, and entering the second half of 2020. So let's kind of recap the first part of the show, or I should say the year, with COVID-19 and quarantining and protests and just overall craziness was going on here in the United States and all around the world. Let's just take a look at some numbers, starting with work life, our work situation here in the country. Half of Americans that were employed before coronavirus pandemic are now working remotely, working from home. Yeah. And there were 10 million Zoom users in December of 2019. As of April of 2020, there are now 300 million. I'm telling you, things are changing right before our eyes. As for entertainment, what's that? We've been missing it for so long, right? But listen to this. Americans watched 6.1 billion hours of Netflix in April of this year. And as of March 18th of this year, the total United States box office revenues was a whopping 300,000 compared to 11 million made on the same day back in 2019. Amazing, isn't it? As for our travel, since the first part of 2020, from March 1st of 2020 to April 16th, there was a 96% decrease in travelers passing through the United States airport security. Now, obviously, it was due to COVID-19 and the shutdown. In fact, here in the United States, they're now taking steps to keep the virus from spreading beyond the hot spots. So states like New York, New Jersey, Connecticut that were hit really hard when the coronavirus first happened. I'm just getting out of this. We're going to have a guest in a little bit, so I'm clearing things out so they can call. All right, so they were hit really hard. So now they have a list of states that cannot come into their states. States like Arizona, Florida, Texas, California. There was a list of 8 states. There's now 16 states that they are not allowing in their state because of the recent uptick. And for the first time in months, the European Union opened its borders to just 15 countries. And we're not included here in the United States. Neither is Brazil or Russia. And, they're saying that they are not allowed because of our recent uptick in COVID cases. Isn't that amazing? So we won't be able to do, sounds like, any traveling for a minute now. And as for Black Lives Matter, 4,000 plus cities and towns worldwide have had some form of public protest in the name of racial justice since May 25th of this year. And only 5 black CEOs lead Fortune 500 companies. And guess what? They're all men. All right, and now the coronavirus update. As of today, 10.4 million cases have been reported worldwide, 2.7 million cases here in the United States. And Dr. Anthony Fauci, you know him, he's this country's top infectious disease expert. He just recently spoke with the Senate committee here in the United States and told them that we could see 100,000 new cases daily if people's behaviors don't change. That's right. He said that. Daily. Daily, people. So we have to get it together. Now, the good news is that he also said that the deaths from COVID-19 are going down, but that too could change if people don't get it together and hospitals become overrun and short supply of beds. All right, and so I think that is our guest. So we're going to bring him on. And just a second here. I just want to tell you one more thing about COVID. A recent Huffington Post YouGov survey found that most Americans favor requirements to wear face masks in public. 62% said yes, 28% said no, that they were in favor of government mandate in their area requiring people to wear face masks when they're in public or around other people. And 69% said yes, and 24% said no, that they were in favor of local stores and businesses instituting policies that will require people to wear face masks while they are shopping. Now, of course, this all sets us up and brings us to the next segment, which is about face masks. And I know that we all kind of covered this before in one of my previous shows, but let's just get a little bit more information here. Now, we know that when it comes to face masks, we should be concerned about the filtering and the fit, and homemade face masks just don't do it, everybody. There's generally a gap around the nose and other areas of the face, and depending on the fabric or material used, the filtering can be poor. So let's just take a closer look at effectiveness when it comes to mask materials. And this is all against the 0.02 micron particles. Let's bring our guest on really fast here. Hi, is this Michael?
It is. Hi, Marilyn.
All right, Michael, hang on one second. I'm walking right into your intro, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, just one second. All right, so the effectiveness of mask materials against the 0.02 micron particles are this. The N95 masks are the best because you get 95% protection. The surgical masks are good as well. You get 89% protection. Some people are even using vacuum cleaner bags to insert in their cloth mask. I don't know, but they say it works. 86% effective. Dishcloths are 73% effective, and any cotton blend material is 70% effective. Now, this should certainly help you. And of course, you guys know that we've been hearing about many corporations and businesses that have jumped in to assist with the PPE shortage issues that the country experienced early on during this pandemic. And so I want to introduce my guest who will be joining me in this segment. And of course, his name is Michael Story. And of course, we'll talk about the importance of the PPE and specifically face masks in a second. But let me just introduce Michael to you. He's co-founder of Beckett Solutions, which is a leading United States distributor of 3D printers, print materials, supplies, and software. They offer a full range of 3D printing products, training, and services, along with co-founder Matthew Prey, I should say. Michael started Beckett Solutions in 2013 to increase the number of 3D printers and expand 3D printing services and partners across the United States. Now, as of today, Beckett Solutions is headquartered in the Chicagoland area with sales and service locations in Phoenix, Las Vegas, and Minneapolis. Once again, hello, Michael, and welcome to the show.
Hello, Marilyn. Thank you for having me today. It's been a real pleasure talking with you. I look forward to our chat.
Yes, 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 yes. So first of all, Michael, how are you holding up in this heat?
Well, being in the area as well, you know that it's been we went right from a cool spring into a hot summer, but we're doing okay. We are doing fine out here. It's been a bit of a challenge, but we're managing.
Yes, yes, yes. I know. Who knew back on January 1st when we were celebrating the new year, cheering and raising our glass and shaking hands and hugging? Who knew that 6 months later we would not be able to do that?
Fair enough. It's halfway through the year so far, and I think we can say it's been a rather unique year. It's been a lot of ups and downs, and it's great to see so many people, individuals, companies, schools coming together in these tough times to help provide, because we are in some real tough times.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so it seems that masks are becoming a part of our everyday lives, our wardrobes. People are being very creative, matching up materials from their clothes for the mask. And so to some degree, we're getting a taste of what first responders and the medical professionals have been dealing with day in and day out for months now, wearing masks. And of course, your company back in April joined many others to help frontline workers. Talk to us, Michael, about that. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Absolutely. COVID-19 is a rather unique situation, and we do know now that masks and face coverings are certainly helpful in slowing the spread of COVID-19 and other issues related to that. And so we, as the public became aware of that, we saw a greater increase in the shortages of PPE, personal protective equipment, face masks, face shield visors, and other things that are critical in the pandemic fight. Those things that are critical for our frontline responders, our medical community, we were seeing vast shortages for them. And with that, we saw a number of companies and institutions band together to help provide 3D printed equipment, medical supplies and PPE, and personal protective equipment, and masks and face shield visors, most importantly, to area hospitals and to other first responders to help during the pandemic. It's great to see so many individuals step up. We joined a network of 3D printing companies, experts, and designers to help hospitals in short supply either easily 3D print their own tools, medical parts, or what we were really a great initiative started by some of the companies was to band together to allow hospitals to search out and find the appropriate vendor who would be able to 3D print these equipment for them. So we joined a network of 3D printing companies, a network of designers, and so on and so forth, distributors, that hospitals could learn the location of available 3D printing hubs, such as Beckett Solutions, and then find what they need and ask them to help in this regard. So we spent a lot of time 3D printing face shield visor components, N95 masks, ear savers, and so on, to help hospitals throughout the country in their fight against COVID-19.
Yeah, and one of the unique things that you talked about were ear savers, which I had no clue what they were, and of course you were able to send me some. I'm holding up one for the viewers to take a peek at when they see it. Now tell us, Michael, how does this ear saver work?
Yeah, essentially it's a piece of plastic that we 3D printed, kind of a flexible material, and this is not just for medical personnel. These can be used for individuals as well. Wearing a mask all day can be a cumbersome experience.
Yes.
And to that end, yes. So we all know that now, and it can be uncomfortable. And so these ear savers, not every mask is put the loops on these little indentations on the ear saver.
Yes.
And so the loops actually go on that, and you can customize the fit.
Yeah, so I'm kind of showing the audience what that would look like. So rather than the loop here going around your ear, you would make the adjustment for the appropriate fit that you want using the ear savers. And then, of course, this piece would kind of hit the nape of your neck, right, Michael?
That's exactly correct.
Yeah.
And we've actually done quite a bit of printing of those. We did some work for some high school students out in the California area who started Project COVID Hero, which is designed specifically to provide PPE and ear savers and the like for the medical community. And their goal is to increase the awareness and exposure. And so they're doing a lot of social media posts and a lot of photos and that kind of thing. And so we donated at the time on our printers and the materials and sent them 75 of these ear savers that they could distribute to their area hospitals.
Oh, awesome. What about locally? Did any of the local hospitals or medical groups need assistance?
So while we did reach out to all the area medical groups and institutions, we didn't have anybody take us up on our services, although we did refer one particular hospital to a colleague company of ours.
Yes.
It seemed like a lot of the shortages that we're seeing were rather area specific, and so some that had a robust supply chain in place didn't need the services as much as others.
Yeah.
Most of what we did was in Texas and Colorado, in Arizona,
Yes.
and the like, and so it was very area specific.
Is it still ongoing, Michael? Are folks still? I know that those states you just mentioned have a recent uptick. Is it still kind of going on?
Fortunately, it has slowed down.
Good.
So while we did, when this first happened, we switched over the vast majority of our manufacturing capability to 3D print, mostly face shield visors, but again, ear savers and N95 masks. So we switched everything over, all the printers that we had, to produce these, and we were cranking these out at a rapid clip. And as companies were traditional manufacturing companies were able to switch over their lines, their manufacturing lines, and produce more PPE here in the United States, and the supply chain kind of shored up. And
Yes.
we didn't have these supply chain issues. We have seen that demand drop, which is a good thing.
Yes.
We want to see that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And speaking of the face mask, the one that you sent me, is this N95?
It is an N95 alternative. So while not technically an N95, it is a design from a company called Fast Radius. They produced an open source design of the similar and highly regulated N95 mask. So
Yes.
the supply of these N95 masks for healthcare workers were very regulated. And with that, a lot of great designers stepped up and created their own versions of face masks that could be 3D printed. And with 3D printing, you have the ability to design and produce prototypes quickly. You can iterate and go through various iterations very quickly, and they're easy and fast and inexpensive to produce these. So this is a reusable mask that can be made from filament extrusion printers in various sizes, and is reusable with the purchase of additional filters.
That's right. That's right. And so I'm putting this to my face, kind of showing the viewers what it looks like. They come in different colors. And of course, Michael, what I'm using to secure it to my ears or head is headbands. But are there particular, do you have recommendations for what people can use to keep it on their head?
We recommend that you use what's most comfortable to you, because if it's uncomfortable, you're either not going to use it correctly, or you're just not going to use it.
Exactly.
And we know there are better things than others, but the best thing is generally find something that works for you, whether that's tying pieces of string or rubber bands or headbands in your case.
Yeah.
I think what the best piece of advice is just to find something that works best for you and stick with that.
Right. And so, folks, as you can see, there's in the front, there's a opening And there's filters that can be purchased, that you would put in there that would protect, the protect you from the virus. And they're pretty inexpensive if you do the math. They're some are made by 3M. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. The filters can be found online through various industrial suppliers, or more commonly through Amazon, which most of your viewers are probably familiar with.
Yeah.
So the various filters can be used, and something's better than nothing. And that's what we've basically found with the advent of face coverings and masks, is that you're not going to stop the transmission of the virus completely. So your goal is just to reduce it, to mitigate your risk. And
Yeah.
so putting in these filters that you can find online is going to mitigate your risk significantly.
Absolutely. And so, as you can see, everyone, it fits fairly well. Now, they come in 2 sizes, correct?
They do come in 2 sizes, just the file themselves from Fast Radius, but with 3D printing, we have the ability to adjust these, customize them to the user. So it's very easy for us to load the file into the software and then just change the percentage of the size. So if it
Yeah.
loads at 100% and say it's 6 inches across, we could adjust that and change it so now it's 5.5 inches or 5 inches or 7 inches or whatever it is with the click of a button. So the great benefit of 3D printing is not just the rapid iteration, the quick turnaround, but it's a customization and the ability to produce parts that are more specific than general manufacturer.
Yeah, well, you picked the right size for my face, because there's no, the fit is perfect. There's no gaps. I'm not getting the fog in my glasses. And of course, around the jawline and chin area, it's a good fit. So all I would need to get is the appropriate filter that goes in here, and just wear it. And again, everyone, it's, these face masks are going to become, well, they are a part of our daily life, especially for people who work on the front lines outside of the medical professional. If you're in retail or a sales clerk in a grocery store, you're going to need these. So you might want to make a little fashion statement and try to produce some of these on your own. Or Michael, you guys are taking random orders here and there as well?
That's correct, Marilyn. We want to be able to provide, a large focus of our company is corporate social responsibility. We feel that we owe it to our community to help provide. And so in this case, we're not really making a profit on these. We have the capacity now, so if somebody wants to come to us, we can sell it to them at cost, basically. Yeah. And so this is not something that you would wear every day on a daily basis if you're going out and about to the store. This is more so for, as you said, Marilyn, those frontline workers, whether that's in the medical community, in the retail, food and service industry, who are exposed to more individuals, more people on a regular basis. They want, they're going to be exposed to more of the virus. This is more specific to them in that it's much more secure than just wearing a bandana, for example.
Yeah, this is like for all day wear for people who are working 6, 7, 8 hours a day somewhere where they have to have their face mask on all day long. And again, the comfortability is perfect. And as Michael said, you just, if you get the software and download, or you reach out to Beckett Solutions and let them know what size you think you might need, it can pretty much be custom fit to your face. And, it's just great. Again, didn't we talk about even the possibility of putting your logo or a little slogan or something on them?
Absolutely. In fact, this high school student that reached out to us for Project COVID Hero, she wanted something a little more customized, a little bit more branding. And so she found the face or the ear savers online, and then just added Project COVID Hero with a few clicks of the software. So it's very easy to add logos, lettering, numbers, whatever it is, to if you wanted something a little more custom.
Awesome. And even as gifts, as I'm sure our mine is, because I love Christmas so much, but most folks' minds are not on the holiday season yet. But, just kind of looking forward, it would make a cool gift, because from what I'm understanding, we're going to be in the face mask zone for at least another year or so. So we might as well embrace this thing and get used to it. And we had talked about even the idea of people coupling their face mask with the shield, because our eyes need to be protected too.
Yeah, in fact, that mask that I sent you, Marilyn, that was from what got us into actually putting the N95 mask. For a while, we were just doing the ear savers and face shield visor components, which was the most in demand product that hospitals needed more of that than anything. But the N95 mask, I had a colleague who had a friend, dental hygienist, who was going back to the office, and she was very concerned. And so we found Fast Radius, who put together this great open source design. And we realized that this was another thing that people really wanted. They wanted a little more security, a little more safety, and this particular mask provides that.
Very good, very good. Well, listen, I think it's great. You know, I think it's awesome that your business believes in corporate responsibility, but also has done something. You know, you've put it into action and into work, and so that's awesome. I commend you guys for that. Do you guys have any other special initiatives going on that you want folks to know about?
We have a couple of things coming up, but nothing I can really talk of
Okay.
right now. You know,
Okay.
we are we're far from out of the woods with this whole COVID-19 thing, but we are fortunate to be in Illinois, where the cases are dropping steadily. So we are looking positive, but we don't know how things are going to unfold. We can't predict the future. So Beckett is always trying to get ahead of instances, and we've been fortunate that we are able to. We're a small company, so we can kind of change things over quickly. So we got a couple things in the works, and if those unfold, I'd be happy to come back and share those with your audience as well, Marilyn. Thank you.
Fantastic. And otherwise, if folks are interested in this 3D printing, now listen, my audience is no stranger to this, because about 7 years ago, our local library got in a 3D printer, and so we did a whole show on how awesome that was, and they of course made some little prototypes of things. I think some keychains and things of that nature. But obviously that was 7 years ago, and now you can bring these 3D printers into your home, right, Michael?
That's correct. They're affordable. There are models that are affordable. There are models that are portable, and so you can bring them into your home. There's a lot of makers and a lot of hobbyists who have done that. But for a lot of people, that might be more than they're willing to invest at this point. So I would encourage you, Marilyn, you brought up a good point. Local libraries probably have access to 3D printers, or they have 3D printers in-house. If you want to learn more about the technology, I would consult with your local library. When things open up, they'll probably start doing, we've seen 3D design classes and 3D printing classes and so on and so forth. So there are great opportunities to learn more about the technology just in your community. If you have students, a lot of the schools have these as well. We do a lot of work in education.
Very good. Well, listen, again, I appreciate you sharing some time, and again, hats off to Beckett Solutions, a local business in the area who has made an impact across the nation. Congratulations to you guys. And sadly, you know, it's under these circumstances, but thank goodness you guys were able to jump in and make some changes and save the day, so to speak.
Well, Marilyn, thank you very much for your kind words and for inviting me on to share a little bit about what we do with your audience. We're committed to serving the community and serving the healthcare community during the pandemic, so we're going to be here doing everything that we can. I wish it was under better circumstances, but it's been a real pleasure talking with you.
Yes, sir. All right. And so we'll be in touch. You continue to keep cool and have a good rest of the day.
Thank you. You too, Marilyn. Take care.
All righty. Peace.
Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. Of course, that's Michael Story, of course, one of the co-founders of Beckett Solutions. And they are in the 3D printing business. And as you heard, they really stepped up during this pandemic to help out those in the medical field, when it all happens, and and everything was in short supply, the PPE and so forth. And then, of course, he and other colleagues in the industry got together and they created these ear savers and started printing those because, everyone was going from wearing the mask every now and then or for an hour at most to all day long. And so you want it to be comfortable. And again, these help you save your ears. You would just put the band where it feels comfortable to you on the ear saver. And also the 3D masks that are very similar to the N95s, and there's filters available for that. So if you want more information, I'll put a link on the YouTube page, but Beckett Solutions is where you would find them. All right, so we appreciate that, and we're going to just move into one last news story before we wrap up today's show, and that, of course, is this story. It's all either related to the Black Lives Matter movement or the protests or the pandemic, hopefully, that we're coming out of. But this one is related to the racial injustice issue that is dominating the news headlines right now. So Karen, this is a story about a real Karen, not the stereotypical Karen, which is a slang term or expression of an angry, entitled, most times racist white woman. Or is it? Well, I'll let you be the judge. Here's the story. This particular Karen was head of the Human Resources Department for Adidas. Her name is Karen Parkin, and she stepped down yesterday after facing criticism for failing to address issues of racism and discrimination at the apparel company. Her statement on the website was, "It has become clear to me that to unify the organization, it would be better for me to retire and pave the way for change." That says a whole lot. Now, it's reported that she has referred to recently and in the past, when it comes to the claims of racism at Adidas, as noise, exclusive to North America, and not something that affected the German-based company at large. However, here's the truth. According to the New York Times, they did an investigation, and last year it showed that Adidas courted black athletes, celebrities, and customers, yet did very little to address the lack of diversity in its workforce and leadership. Also, employees have gone on record accusing Adidas of dismissing their complaints of racism and considering designs based on racist stereotypes and the Confederate flag. Also, black employees were quick to tell the company to look in the mirror when they released a social media post condemning racism during recent protests. Oh my goodness. And so it sounds like a mess at Adidas, right? Well, they are scrambling to make amends. And so here's some things that they have promised. Adidas has promised to give $120 million to causes addressing racial injustice. They also promised to fill 30% of new United States jobs with Black and Latino workers. And they have also created scholarships for Black students. So stand by, everybody. We have to see how this story continues to develop. If I'm not mistaken, this is the brand that Beyonce recently teamed up with. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that relationship, or what her thoughts or comments are about that. All right, and then real quickly, you've heard of New York Fashion Week, right? Well, guess what? It's going to be shortened to just 3 days, and it's going to be fully virtual. Go figure. Also, I thought this was good news. NASA has committed to invest $51 million to innovative ideas from United States small businesses. That's huge. $51 million. You know, folks are throwing a whole lot of money around lately, and it's astounding. You know, it really is astounding. So, prayerfully, it will not be in vain, and we will, in time, see some change. Right? All right. No cafe talk today. No entertainment news. We'll save that for Saturday's show. I do have a laugh of the day. Do you want to hear it? All right, I'll have to share where my source of these jokes is. I'm online all over the place, and I just write them down real quick and forget to put the source, but I do want to credit them, so I'll start doing that in the future. But this one, here it is. Why did the vegetable band break up? Why did the vegetable band break up? They couldn't keep a beat. Get it? They couldn't keep a beat. B-E-E-T. Ah! Okay. All right. Well, that's it, everybody. That's our show for today. Of course, we want to thank Michael Story of Beckett Solutions for stopping by. And I do want to remind you, if you want to promote your business, your service, your product, etc., with our upcoming Christmas giveaways, just reach out to producer at Maryland'sCafeSociety.com, and we will help you get the word out about your business while you help us do our Christmas thing. All right. All right, remember you can find me on Twitter, Marilyn's Cafe Soch, on Twitter, on Facebook, Marilyn's Cafe Society, on the website, Maryland'sCafeSociety.com. Of course, the blog on WordPress, Marilyn's Cafe Society, and right here on YouTube, Marilyn's Cafe Society on YouTube. Here we go. Saturday's love is, because we didn't have a Saturday show, Saturday's love is the nice feeling when I wake up and find you next to me. Don't believe me? Here it is. The nice feeling when I wake up and find you next to me. Very nice, right? All right. Well, remember, everyone, if you don't do anything else for the rest of this week, be sure that you live, you laugh, and you love. As always, it's been a pleasure and a privilege, and we'll do it all over again this Saturday. It's going to be July 4th. Independence Day, better known as the 4th of July. So who knows, maybe I'll have my flag dress on and all kind of stuff going on. But we'll have some fun, I promise. All right. Peace. Be safe.